And I was interested because I know what it's about, but when someone gets into it and they see themes around the Christchurch massacre or writings around the Christchurch massacre, they see writings in the same article around the Free Speech Union, writings in the same article about Destiny Church and especially the disruptions of Pride events, they may land and go, what's this actually about? So tell us about the article. Tell us about what you're writing about and the themes that are coming out in it for you.
Yeah, so it's about all those things, and really it's about how they're all connected. My writing, both the book, for those who've read it, and the stuff I do in Fedora Dispatch, I try and avoid just hard news, because I feel like you can get that from social media, and I avoid commentary. I don't think my opinions are super interesting. What I try and do is do more sort of long form essay style stuff where people will get a bit of in-depth analysis and probably learn a few new things, and think a bit more deeply about some of these issues. So what I'm really trying to get across here is that 6 years on from the massacre in Christchurch, the things that led to it, which were the spread of hateful ideas, hateful ideology, is still very much happening. And so that brings in the Free Speech Union and some of the speakers they've been hosting and the work they've been doing. And it brings in Destiny Church, who have been disrupting these Pride events, which is so similar to what we've seen in North America, well, particularly the US. I'm less certain about Canada, but North America over the last few years. When I wrote the book, I wrote about a couple of examples from the US, and I remember people saying, well, this is the US, it's not here. But, now it's hit here, which is why I wrote about it, because I knew we weren't far behind. Yeah.
So the themes around that, I was particularly interested, you wrote about the Free Speech Union had their event on the other side, I think, of Hadley Park, whilst there was the commemorations or a remembrance happening on the same day as the Christchurch massacre. Do you think there's anything intentional in that, or was that an unlucky coincidence that they were there?
I think it's mostly a coincidence that it was happening so close. But I'm from Christchurch. I live in Christchurch, and with this article as well, I wanted to write about my city, and there were these three things all happening on the same day. So we have Muslims going to Al Noor Masjid for Friday prayers when it's the eve of the anniversary. Not far from there, we have Free Speech Union hosting a man who's talking about race Marxism. And then in the suburbs, but again, not very far away, we have this Pride event, which is happening, which is a spiritual event remembering lost members of the community. And that's then disrupted by these young men who burst in filming, chanting homophobic slurs and so on. And I thought these three things happening in my city all at the same, within a few hours of each other. That's a wee microcosm of where we are at in the world right now, isn't it? Those things all happening in one space.